So Andrea's here, and we are going to just do a little meditation to get us into the energies of our, what's happening in the astrological world around us, the cosmic influences that are here surrounding us every day, creating certain initiatory processes, as you might want to say. And they really are, from what I'm learning, the holy wild forces, the forces that we were born into and that are alive within us and around us, and that are working and playing every day with us. And part of my passion is to get to know these forces and to share them with you so that you can know them better. And also we can utilize them to help us transform. And that truly is the alchemy. The alchemy is when we basically take what we have around us and we bring it within us, and then we use that to develop ourselves, to grow, to better ourselves. And ultimately, that's the reason we're here, right? So just taking a deep breath now, and I welcome you to the call, welcoming you to this space and time. Taking another deep breath, moving into your body even deeper, honoring the earth beneath your feet. Just wiggling your toes and giving thanks to Mama Earth, who carries us. And just making that love connection between your feet and the ground. I'm just feeling grateful for having this human experience. And just knowing that usually Mother Earth wants us to play. So just bringing that element in to your day, into the wiggle in your toes as you connect with the earth and your body, and inviting in joyful energy, and the element of being childlike, because we can just take things so seriously all the time. So inviting in more play and creativity into our session, into our day, into our evening. And now taking another deep breath into your root, feeling the sacrum, and just allowing the lower part of your body to move a little bit, just adjust into that energy field that we just spoke of. Feeling alive and playful, activated. And with another breath, moving upward into the womb, into the pelvis area. And bringing joy and play into this area. And then moving that energy up through the belly and up the spine, doing light movement. So the moon, full moon is in Capricorn, which rules the spine. So just allowing that play to come in through the spine as you move gently. And moving all the way up through the solar plexus now. Feeling that alive, vital force moving through you, lighting up your organs from the inside. And then moving into the heart space, feeling that love, playfulness, the joy, illuminating your heart. Moving through the throat. And noticing whatever comes up as you allow this vital life force to come into your throat. And with another deep breath, moving all the way up now through the head and the crown into the third eye, radiating outward with joy, inner knowing, and vision. And then all the way to the top of your head, imagining a beautiful orb of light filling up like the sun above you on your crown, and greeting the sun above you as it shines all the way out into the universe, connecting into the great sun of our universe. And then just noticing beyond that, the Milky Way and all that lays beyond. Just taking a moment to connect to that greatness, the greatness of all things, knowing that there is a divine play happening and you are a part. And how exciting is that to be a part of this divine play, this creation? Feeling your place in that as the sun, the great galactic sun, shines down upon us all the way through the galaxies and back down into our universe and our sun and our solar system, where our planets are orbiting around the sun in their dance. And now imagining the sun sitting in the sign of Capricorn. Capricorn, the horned goat, the sea goat, is what they say. Is what the ancients would call the part of the sky that Capricorn is in, the sea. And so even though it is an earth sign, it has a watery element to it. And so they say the myth that came from Capricorn is the horned goat and also the sea goat, part goat and part fish. So just tuning into the energy of that constellation as you sit here and the sun shines within that constellation upon you, as well as noticing Saturn and Pluto being in the sign of Capricorn. Where is that in the sky above you right now? Saturn, the sign of the mother and discipline and lessons, the lessons and karma we came here to learn. And Pluto being Hades, being the deep underworld. Showing us the way through the deeper parts and aspects of our psyche. So now, taking another deep breath and honoring this constellation. As we move it down, 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 all the way into our womb space. As now Capricorn sits with the moon. And just feeling that shift. The opposition of the sun and the moon as she grows full and faces the moon, feeling that polarity between your womb, where the moon sits, and where the sun sits above you. And feeling that connection and that relationship between the sun and the moon, that gravitational pull, the push and the pull. Feeling their relationship and what is to be learned here. So now as Capricorn sits in the south node, Cancer is in the north. Cancer, where our sun is right now, the polar opposite of Capricorn. So I invite you now to connect into that, into the Cancer, who is also of the sea, of the mother, of the darkness and the psyche. And feeling that relationship between Capricorn in the south and Cancer in the north, above and below. So we're just giving witness to these constellations as part of us. Their stories have come through the ancients as they've studied the stars. So we honor those stories as our archetypal influences. And they shift and they grow with us. And we honor these stories as sacred just by witnessing. Witnessing what is coming up in you and your body. How does it feel to tune into the greater parts of you, greater parts of the universe? The stars that surround you, the gods and the goddesses, and the great planets that have been here longer than we have. So, again, with a deep breath in, coming into your body and just taking in the energy and the blessings that these starry beings have for us. Even if we know or we don't know what the blessings are at the moment, they are there within the mystery. And the mystery is unfolding as we move through this eclipse tomorrow. So coming back to the heart space and giving thanks for the ancients for guiding our way so that we may be in balance and harmony during this time. Giving thanks for all the planets, the moon, the stars, Mercury, Venus, Mars, Saturn, Uranus, Pluto. I know I missed one. Saturn? Neptune. Did I say Neptune? And all the asteroids. And all of our guides and angels of the benevolent kind who are here to assist us in our soul's evolution. I give thanks for all of your guidance and gifts. And so it is. Blessed be. Coming back to your body. And with one more breath, opening your eyes. And so as we pass through the lunar eclipse tomorrow, it will be the second eclipse of the month. We began with the new moon and the total solar eclipse, which was pretty powerful. And it opened up the gateway for us to do some really deep work. In our last class, we did an homage to our maternal lineage to do some healing work because the new moon was in Cancer. And so Cancer being connected to the mother and the moon. Also, Cancer guides our memory. So there's a lot. This is a time of memories resurfacing along with Mercury retrograde coming in. Really gives it a boost of going back in time so that we can fix the past, heal the traumas, and move forward. Because what we found is that through our ancestral lineage, even, and a lot of our traumas, we were taking note, are also inherited. We are here to heal that. And a lot of our souls are here to do some quantum style healing, you know, in that regard, on this time on Earth, as Andrea, I think you know about, because you do that kind of stuff with the angels. And I'll let you speak about that too if you want in a minute here. I'd love to hear from you. So yeah, just tuning into the mother or matrilineal connection, and then seeing that there's only love. Truly, through spirit, our ancestors want us to move forward. Our ancestors want us to heal. Our ancestors want us to live our fullest lives. And so truly they're here to support us. And that goes for everything. Although we do have challenges and challengers in our lives, they are here to make us stronger, in essence. So if we can just see that, the things that have challenged us, how have they helped us to come into our power? So now as we move from the new moon into this full moon gateway, we've, you know, if you look back and over the last 2 weeks, to take note of what has been presented, what kind of things have come up for you, and also notice, especially when we come to the lunar eclipse, things will tend to amplify. Our shadows tend to amplify. There's a quickening. So when you see, you know, the earth moving between the sun and the moon, there's a shadow, of course, on the moon that we see. And it's almost as if the moon is going through her phases through the eclipse really quickly. So it's like a mini, like, cycle within a cycle. So things are really amplifying during this time. And at the same time, it gives you an extra opportunity to do the work to make that healing happen. And when that healing happens, it's usually a shakeup. It's usually uncomfortable, and it's usually a good thing to be uncomfortable, even though we want to be comfortable. If you feel the shakeup happening, it means that the work is being done. So just a reminder in that. One of the reasons I created the Wild Moon Temple is so that we could help each other and, you know, usher each other through these thresholds, because each cycle is another opportunity to do this kind of work. And I think that when we get together to witness one another and to hear one another and to honor these, you know, holy wild forces, and just to share about our personal experiences, I feel like we feel held, and we feel like we're not doing it alone. And we are not here to do it alone. We are so used to doing that, but we need this all the support we can get, right? So my goal is to keep creating that portal here and in other places too, but have this be a meeting place that you always know you can come to every month on the new moon and the full moon, and receive what you need to, and also be heard and witnessed. So lastly, I just wanted to share a little bit about the Mercury retrograde, and we're going to do a little with that as we close. We're going to dive into Hermes a little bit. But so the Mercury retrograde is now in Leo, the sign of Leo, the sign of the heart, and it will move back into Cancer. So where it began a few weeks ago, I want to say, has it been a few weeks? it was in Cancer. And so we were doing a lot of work with familial stuff, relationships, nourishment, home. That's what also Cancer represents, right? Now we've moved Mercury into Leo. And so that's matters of the heart, matters of power, dynamics, things like that. But retrograde goes backwards. So, and I think it's like in another week, it'll move back into Cancer. So we're going to have this kind of shifting back and forth from power dynamics to the Cancerian stuff again, the stuff we were working on before. So that's really interesting because we're going to get to pull all the good stuff from the Leo, from the fire heart, back into the Cancerian domain. And hopefully that'll help us push forward when we're out of retrograde in August, right? So just so much going on. And as I said, I don't know why my phone is doing that. Stop it. Oh, Mercury. Okay. So yeah, Mercury is always trying to get our attention, right? So yeah, there's a lot of underworldy stuff. Stuff is up. It's really intense. But really what I'm sensing is that we are just moving out another layer, so we can, ascend another level. Doing this way because of my headphones. So whatever deep psyche. You don't hear me? Hear me now? Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
I don't know. These are kind of old headphones, so I was trying to use them. But I'm going to throw them away. So that's another thing that is just symbolic, right? Like
a lot of stuff is breaking. Shoes and stuff. My shoes got holes in them. It's like, goodbye. Old journals, old shoes.
No way.
You gotta go to FYE and get the unicorn ones. I got them.
Oh yeah. So that's another funny thing. So like Capricorn is also and I just read this, is also it's the sea goat, but also the unicorn.
And I got a mermaid crown too. So I got unicorn and mermaid here on my toys.
All over the place. And I think that's super cool. So like, yeah, from the depths of the sea all the way to the top. And like I was saying, is the goat always makes it to the top of the mountain, even though sometimes it's at their own pace and you can't push them. So like, think about where you are in your life right now, and what is that? What symbolizes that? Where do you feel you're pushing too hard?
Oh, I definitely feel that right now. Trying to make things happen, and then like nothing's happening. It's like crickets, and then it's like more and more. And then I'm trying to learn how to do nothing, and let myself be taken care of, which is really hard because I usually take care of everyone else. So I'm like, go to the movies, just do nothing, and just allow. When you've done all you can to manifest, and it's just like, okay, just gotta like not think now.
I feel that too. Like I feel like stuff isn't happening fast enough for me.
Yeah, and I'm waiting. I'm like checking everything. I'm like, somebody's looking for me. Something's gonna happen. Like high anxiety. So I'm just trying to exercise a lot and like just be like in tune. What do I need to do today? Like maybe I'll just clean the closets then, and like really just be the homemaker. Yeah, and that's okay.
And that's perfect for the time we're in too.
Yeah.
did that actually on Sunday. I cleaned out my clutter, out of my closet. I let go of a bunch of stuff. Like I have projects that I haven't been working on, and I just started working on them. And I'm like, okay, but the stuff I'm not working on, it's gotta go. Like these phones, they gotta go.
Yeah. And it's like you can feel the old energy and the old stuff, because I was going through my books, my journals, and it's just like it wants to go. It's old, and there's only so much we can handle, even the clothes, like the old ratty clothes. But I wanted to talk about what I feel happening, because I just felt a lot of emotional stuff getting kicked up, like old traumas, like, and it's almost like we stored them away to function, and then it's like these tragic periods of my life, like just going back into it, but maybe from a safer place, but still it's kind of like, oh, this again. I felt a little bit of that coming up, especially with going home. I'm going to my hometown, but I've just been trying to honor the process and not judge it, because I usually, like, you feel better in the morning and it's just like, okay, I'm in the shadow now. And it's like, it is a call to like a self-love, and just like sit with the cat and like put a crystal on your head and like just love yourself if you don't feel well. That's been my lesson, because it's like I'm always judging, like, feel better, and it's like, just feel what you feel. It's like, yeah.
Well, that's the thing, because I think of the goat going up the mountain, and then I think about, like, what are we carrying up the mountain with us?
Mm-hmm.
Why is it so heavy, and why is it taking so long? Because how much of this stuff is ours and how much isn't? I think it's a time for us to really like prioritize like what we're going to carry with us and what we're letting go.
Yeah.
Like you said, how much are we taking care of people? How much? Like, and the fact that, yeah, we have bodies. We have 3-dimensional bodies to take care of, and they get sick. It's like, how do we tend to our bodies in a way, that is functional, and yet we can still, do what we need to do.
That's a big one. I think there's a global lifestyle shift happening, because I feel like, oh, I can't like live the way this is. And I was just trying to be present with that. Like, everybody's feeling it. Like, we're going to move more into, ease and sustainability and like healthy lifestyle, because I couldn't be the go, go, go thing, and it's like, and yet it's like not PC to relax or do too much of that stuff either. So it's like making space for that in our society, in our culture,
Yeah, that's
versus being called lazy or,
yeah.
Yeah.
It's so true. I feel like that's the pivotal thing happening in the collective too, right now with people, because that's, that came up with the debates with Marianne Williamson. I don't know if you watched the debate.
I just watched her.
You did. She was like, we don't have a healthcare industry. We have a sick care industry. And
no,
why is everyone sick? And it's like, yeah, because we're fucking running all the time, day after day after day after day after day. Money, bills, like, gotta pay.
Yeah.
Gotta survive.
Yeah.
Survival mentality, and we're not really like taking care of ourselves and each
You're
other.
in fight or flight then. Yeah.
Everyone's just falling into like mental health problems, one category, and then of course the physical problems is another category, but I feel like mental is like the main thing that causes the physical,
Yeah.
Mental, emotional. So that's a whole other conversation.
We have to be leaders. Yeah. Well, and I've also been looking at what I throw, because I'm a doer. So I'm looking at, well, I need all these things to heal myself. And it's like, wait, maybe I just need to, like, you got to work to heal yourself, right? You got to do like all this yoga and all this meditation and eat all these right ways, versus just getting totally in my intuitive awareness in each moment and just feeling ultimately more safer in my existence, and knowing like, oh, it's simple. It doesn't have to be so hard, because I'm all about work, right? Well, I'll meditate 4 hours if that guarantees my ascension, but it's like so much work, too. Sometimes I've been looking at that in my work, like, you got to work for health, you got to work for fitness, right? You got to work for peace, inner peace. It's like a lot of, work.
And it takes a huge commitment to your relationship with yourself to listen,
Mm-hmm.
do all of that. Like, oh, why is nothing happening today? I feel like crap, and I want to just like be like quiet. And then when you allow yourself that, I've noticed, like, live like a cat has kind of been my mantra. Like,
Mm-hmm.
then when you have the energy, you pounce. And you get
That's true, yeah. But it's trusting that process, because when you're in the relax mode, you're like, oh no, what if I never want to do anything again? Or what if it's not okay to take a step back?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's knowing when to push and knowing when to just pull back.
Yeah.
A lot of trust in that and development in your instinct.
Instinct, yeah. Well, I liked connecting with all the planets. I don't feel like I really connect with them in that way. So I'm grateful for that. It's like an attunement to their like god or goddess or diva bodies, you know, because they feel angelic almost, like, or greater consciousnesses, you know, and to go fly out there felt good. And I think that's why I like all the Marvel movies, right? Because they're always like flying in the rainbow universe. And I'm like, wait, this feels good. Like my head and my being is connected to this. And it's like we weren't taught. And it's like that wild rhythm of the cosmos, like to just, it's like mirrored within us, outside of us, and just, you know, dancing with the wildness of that, exploring that. I really felt that in the meditation.
Yeah.
You know, like that.
I've been guided to do that, and I feel like I'm probably going to open with something like that every time, because how many times do we look up during the day? You know, we're all like so in our heads, right? And we're just like in worry mode, or like thinking about like beating our bodies, or like
We're a retirement.
well, okay, we can talk about astrology, but you don't, like, it just gives us that expansion, that feeling of like, oh, this is a relationship. Like, I can't have a relationship with something I don't feel or see. You know, we don't really spend time stargazing at the planet. I mean,
Yeah.
cultures, that's all they had time to do, because they didn't have screens to stare at, right?
It was also embedded in their culture, like that, to look at the stars and learn about them, like Native American stuff. I always think like they had the stories of the stars that they passed on, and it's very grounding. Just doing the moon circles and things that I've been doing throughout the few years, like attending things like that, because I've never connected with the moon in that way. And then the grounded peace and quietness I would feel was amazing, because I looked at the stars, but I've never really like connected with the moon in that way. So it's almost like there's all these hidden nature piece things around, you know. And I've been trying to take walks when it's sunset. That's very healing too. Like just drinking in the colors of the sky. It's like
I love
it almost feels like a puppy. Like I need the outdoor walks, you know, like I need the fresh air and being with it.
We take walks every night at sunset. And I noticed that like no one else was out, and it's like, why don't you want to go see the sunset? It's the most beautiful on earth. And then the stars, you know, like, I mean, that's one of my goals, is to camp under the stars. But it's like, how often do we get to do that? You know, how often do we really get that real wild experience? The last time I slept under the stars, I remember I like did not sleep all night though, because there was so much going on. It's like, oh my god, this is too much. Like, I could not sleep. It's like psychically, I was like so plugged in, right? So I was like, maybe I'll just go back in my house. So I can shut you down a little bit. But I think it was just the first night, because I wasn't used to it, you know. But yeah, I think that we need to do more stuff like that, you know, just through meditation, and like being like, okay, I have this body, I'm on Earth. What's above me? You know, we know there's a sun, we know there's a moon, but there's also like all these, it's just a celestial dance happening. And that's the beauty of learning about astrology, because I've been studying the nature of practical alchemy, and astrology is a part of that. Like how the alchemists used to make their potions used to be related to certain times of the month. They were very specific about when they made their medicines and how they used the plant, and they would I mean, there's a whole spiel. I'm going to teach a class on that one day, but astrology is and always has been a really big part of things, and how we do things. Also in biodynamic gardening and so many different things. So we're always deepening, I think, into that relationship. And so thank you for sharing that part, with the meditation, because I always wonder how other people relate. And it's a good thing to do, in the morning, or especially on the full moon, the dark moon. But I invite you to go out tonight or tomorrow and just have a little time under the stars and just to receive. Yesterday I was taking a walk with my daughter and the moon was out, and so there's a pose that I've been studying movement as well, which I do a lot of intuitive stuff, but the traditional, I don't know if you know the traditional moon pose with receiving is this. Kind of like you're the chalice when you hold out your arms to the moon, and just it's like you're connecting, right, to the celestials. Mm-hmm. You get a sense of a shift when you do that. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I think it's just our body's like, oh yeah, we're acknowledging there's something above us, right? And then we're receiving, we're letting that moon energy and the celestials fill us up. It's our connection. We're allowing that. We're opening. And I think that's the thing. It's us creating the relationship. They're there, but we make that relationship, right? So we open, right? Mm-hmm. So I was doing that when I saw the moon last night. When I was walking, I was like, hi, moon. It was like, she's starting to get older. But she's like, what are you doing, Mom?
It was very special last night. I was out looking at it, and I was just like, wow.
Yeah, well, if you can tonight, we'll definitely, we'll probably be on just for a few more minutes, but I think we'll have time to go see the sunset after, so that'd be nice.
Yeah.
So in regards to Mercury, I was curious as to, since you did the class, or have you done the class? Did you go?
I looked at it a little. I didn't read the whole thing. I did a little bit of it. I read it over, but when it takes a while to digest, so I gotta look at it a few times.
Yeah, because I was thinking, I'd like to do a class specifically just on that, and I was thinking I might do something like that, and then we could go through it together. Let me see. Go over to, can you see me right now?
I can see you, yeah.
Okay. I'm going through. So what did you receive from the course so far?
I just read the whole thing quick, but then I have to go through it slowly and digest it, I think.
Yeah. No, totally. There's a lot there. And again, it's opening that relationship to this being, like Mercury, who is also, named Hermes in Greek, and then Thoth, related to Thoth, the Egyptian god, and then further back in the Babylonian and Sumerian times, Nabu.
Yeah.
So they've always named the planets usually after gods, the most important gods. So, but in many of the cultures, there's a similar stream that I've noticed that Mercury is the communicator.
Oh.
When I was studying about NASA and them taking pictures and sending rovers to Mercury, they called, I can't remember the exact name, but I swear it's Communicator X or something. It was one of the names, and they really go by the ancient astrological and astronomical aspects of the planet, and it's also connected to writing. So writing and communication. And Mercury has the catechus, which is the serpent, the double serpent wand.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a nature of dualism to Mercury, as he is also the messenger. And so this wand gives him that ability to trade and to relate, to create relations, to communicate effectively. And also, when he waves his wand, he's able to put mortals to sleep so that they can receive dreams and messages from the gods. So it's pretty big work. I would say Mercury's got a job. So I don't know if you've noticed any like dreams have been amplifying for you or not, but I've heard a lot of people saying, I've been having the weirdest dreams. And I think what I've noticed as I've started creating a relationship to Mercury, it becomes like this thing isn't happening to me. It's more of me paying attention to the message. You know what I mean? So
The witness.
yeah, like, oh, this isn't like some random thing that's happening. There's like a message, you know?
I've been good at like not getting caught in the chaos of it, but just allowing the dance around me and just being like flowing with it, you know? Like instead of trying to hold all those balls up, you know? Like, I'm gonna hold all the...
Like, how many times do I have to go back today to do this, you know? Like, haha, and I even like told my daughter, you know, I've been teaching her about it, and she's like, oh, Mercury, like she's starting to do it too. And I don't want to like be one of those people that blames everything on Mercury, but
I used to not be, but since like Mercury this year, I'm like, maybe that's right. Because everyone's like, don't do this at Mercury retrograde. I usually don't even notice, but all of a sudden it was just like, whoa.
Yeah, exactly.
But it's a clean out because it was like I wasn't functioning, I think, from a full grounded, honest place. So it like kind of kicks you to face that. You know what I mean? Like, do you have those true roots? Oh, you know what's been coming up for me with the Mercury too? Like where I'm a doormat, like I just got real nasty. I started blocking people. I just got real truthful with myself, and I feel safer. Like my warrior was hidden and I was just kind of taking stuff. And even though my true inner truth is so much like, this person is not good for you, I was just like, be nice, don't. And it's like I just like really came a clarity, like I don't care. And I used to be really never want to hurt anyone's feelings, but it's just like I didn't like the confrontation, but it's like this new level of like clarity. Like I don't want these people in my life, you know. I can't put up with it.
Yeah, and I
Inner mother or something, inner mama bear.
Another thing that I've noticed is definitely like the boundaries are being strengthened right now in huge ways.
Yeah.
Never before. They're just getting like, poof, this is my boundary. This is where I'm at. And I'm not going to let you cross that.
Mm-hmm. What about those earthquakes? Because I feel a little like on edge when I hear noises, like earthquakes coming for us. You know, it's like, but I'm just like flowing with that too. Like, okay, Mama Gaia.
Yeah, well, it reminds us of the impermanence of everything, right?
Yeah.
It's good to be reminded that everything is fluid. We're living on a water being.
Oh, I didn't even think of that. Like a giant water being. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So.
Wow.
Yeah, it's pretty neat that I just pray that we awaken and we don't have to get overly shaken up. But
yeah,
it definitely was scary for a lot of people getting those earthquakes. But yeah, back to Mercury. One of the things I read, I'm trying to find it here. One of the things that you can do every day for 10 to 15 minutes. So what I did was, in the course, you can write the sign of Mercury, which is the two, well, like it looks like antenna. It's like a moon shape. which is the receiver with the circle. I don't know, I'm putting it on my head, but the moon, and then I don't know, you can do this right now if you want, if you have a pen. You put the moon over a circle, and then a straight line down, and then across over the straight line. So the circle represents the fertility of the earth.
Mm-hmm.
The moon is obviously being a receiver, and that's another thing about Mercury is like, you know, your ability to receive the message, right? And then take it into the earth, fertility, and then bring it down through the line to the earth, and then the cross is how you manifest it and bring it into form, into matter. So this is a really good time for us to be doing that work. What are the messages we're receiving, and how are we bringing that into form? Okay. And it gives us this opportunity. This is something I read. I really liked it. It was on the hoodwitch.com. The information shown during this retrograde will show me the way to break free from comfort zones and routine. This change of pace offers me a new opportunity to change my life direction appropriately. I'm being shown ways to broaden my perspective by using my intuition. So, taking that, and as you write your sign, what I did was I put the symbol of Mercury on the front of a piece of paper, and then I opened it, like I made it like a card. So when I open it, then I wrote in the ritual part of the course, there's some questions that will prompt you to write some things about your past, old routines, things that you want to change and move forward from, kind of thing. Or, you know, just tune in and see what wants to come through you around Mercury. You can just write that. But writing right now is where it's at. So, you know, Mercury is the guardian of writing. You'll get many messages and healing from writing out stuff right now in whatever way possible. Just get as deep as you can go and just write it and see what comes through. So I invite you to do that tonight or over, you know, the next 3 days as we enter this portal for the eclipse.
Writing. Okay.
And also as we, you know, have up until I think August 2nd, Mercury will be retrograde, and it's just good to kind of practice tuning in for about 15 minutes a day for self-reflection and peace of mind. And writing, if you can, every day would be great. Another thing you can do is, so I notice when I honor, it's like this is all just you honoring your relationship with yourself, as well as with these planetary forces that are bringing these things out in us, that are already in us, right? And when you bring all that deep stuff out in the psyche, we can work with it. We just bring awareness to it. Are there any things that come up for you around like comfort zones, routines? Just wanted to tune in with you real quick.
Just flowing with the cycles, because I feel like I've been in a caregiving cycle and not working as much out in the world and just floating. And then I'm noticing the cycles in my life where there's times where I care for others, and then there's times where I'm like big career woman, you know what I mean? And like not judging that process and knowing my place. Also letting others shine around me, because I think I'm usually the big doer, like with the big title and whatever. And so I'm learning to play the different roles and let others shine. I've also noticed that a lot of things I'm working on manifesting, everyone around me is creating. So I was holding myself present with celebrating that instead of feeling like I'm the deprived one. And so that was interesting too, being like, well, I wouldn't want to have things and nobody else have things. Like, we can all have what we want at the right time. So it's like about the higher self, really, for me, having that grace of like, you know, my house is on the way, or my whatever success I need, or things paid, you know, that it's on its way at the right time, and trusting the process. Grace, like that higher grace and awareness, versus that human mind or animal that's like freaks out. Like, and I think that's a pattern, because I remember my mother like that. Like, she did pretty well, but every now and then she'd just have those freakouts, like, I'm cursed and the world's against me, you know. And it's like, I think I grew up with that, and so it's like repatterning myself to have faith and trust that I'm watched over, you know what I mean? Like, it's like, because it's so programmed the opposite, that darkness in my lineage a little bit, that it's like the light's coming in, but it's like I have to keep reprogramming the light in my lineage, you know, because the default is the darkness, the suffering, the abuse. And it's just like, how it's like one generation away from that, great, but we got to go further and really cleanse that with love, you know. And then that's ultimately having the thriving woman, right? The nourished goddess. I keep feeling that. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Really are speaking it. I mean, you couldn't have said it better. I realized too, with Mercury, he was one of the only gods that could go from the top of Mount Olympus to the middle, the earth realms, and then to the lower realms of, you know, Persephone in the dark and the underworld, Hades. And basically those are subconscious, conscious, and unconscious.
Oh.
Right? So he goes back and forth and brings messages back and forth. So it's interesting to notice, like you said, like what would be on the lower level. Well, that's our survival. That's our survival mechanisms. Those are all the deep, dark, wounded parts of us that are just like, it's not enough, and we're not going to get this. And, you know, just like that whole, like you said, I'm cursed and blah, blah, like that.
Yeah.
Our lower nature, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, think of Hades down below, just like walking around and doing his like, like that's, we all play that out in some way in our lives, right? And then we go to the other world where it's just like everyday, mundane, kind of like, no, I'm gonna eat this, and this is happening, and there's a process, and we're doing this. And then there's the upper world where it's like everything's taken care of. We are just like floating in heaven right now, and
then we get bored,
and we're just taken care of, and all is well, right? All is healed. So we play all of those roles every day. So I think it's interesting just to notice those things in ourselves, because it's not like one's better than another. Some of us just live in those places more, you know, depending on the day.
And not judging it, like.
But we also have the opportunity to shift, and we can call forth, right, from the higher realms. Oh, we're needing help here. Pull me out of Hades, right? Pull me out of the underworld, because I am done being here now. I've had enough of that. Yeah. But it's important, because we have to go down there to see, to shine the light, right? We have to see what's down there. We have to see what we've been holding, or else it will never go away, right?
We're strong enough to face it. It comes up when we're strong enough to face it, right?
Yeah. Exactly. And we kind of like, we heal, and as we heal, we kind of die to our old selves, and we're reborn. And over and over until we're finally healed, you know. So it doesn't always take just one life. It takes a few.
I've been doing a lot of digging work, it seems like emotional and memory digging. And then I got this thing called the completion process. So it's like, it seems like new tools have been like dropping in my lap, and it's like, I'm just learning how to go with it, because I get very stuck in my ways, right? Like, oh, I'm only going to do Reiki. I'm only going to do this form of yoga. And then now it's just like, well, maybe you need like to study psychology now, or like I've been doing litanies of saints, and that feels really good, you know? And it's just like, okay, like just being open to the whatever I'm needed, because there's like, we have so many healing tools now at this time, and we can access so many books and different philosophies, that's been a major thing for me, is like letting go of what worked before and just being in the now, like, oh, now I need this, you know, and this feels really good to me now. And I know that stuff worked before, but it's just like, doesn't feel good anymore, you know? It's like, but that was an enigma to me, because I'm like, why isn't that working anymore? Like that modality or something, you know?
Yeah.
But and then I'm thinking, do we change like astrologically different times in our life, like, or we've just repatterned ourselves so much that we need different things, you know? Yeah.
I think so. I mean, I think it's just like eating different foods, or if you're just eating the same food all the time, sometimes you want to try another kind of fruit, you know?
You get bored, yeah.
Add another spice to the mix, right?
Yeah. Very into the physical lately, like healing, doing a lot of yoga and fitness, and then healing the emotional PSTD of childhood, stuff like that. But it's like very like physical now, where I feel like for years I was like working in the other realms. Now I'm like physical emotions in there and fitness, and it's interesting. It's like, because it's like going so up into heaven, but then like detaching from the physical. Now it's like all uniting, you know, for me. I feel that. I want to show you this book I just got to. It's like, I don't know if you know Teal Swan. This is the one, the completion process. And it's just a lot of like the PSTD healing of like childhood stuff. And I'm like, I was just like, I don't even know what I was doing. And I just picked it up and I was like, okay, I just got to read this, you know, to map out where I'm holding the stress in my body, you know. That feels really good lately.
I can't remember where I just read this, but maybe it's in my book on alchemy, but it was saying how alchemy starts in the body. It starts in matter, you know, it starts with the metaphor. But if we're not nourishing this, if we're not working on our bodies, then it's not going to work. Like, this is where it all begins, you know?
Yeah.
We often like go out there, you know, because people like, I know you and me, we're cosmic beings, and we like to bring in all kinds of different energies from like the top of the trees, right? But yeah, I think, I mean, I know, I've always known that's been my focus.
Yeah.
So,
And it's like the cats, you know, they need cuddling and just to have that aura of love around their physical being, you know. And it's like, we're all like that little cat, you know, that needs that.
yeah.
I've been just doing that a lot, like just love, living that love heart matrix, you know, as a community, as a family, as whoever's around you, because it feels like when you have that safe space, it is the right environment for healing and thriving, just like the circle of love, you know.
Yeah. I think that's really important.
Yeah.
Well, so moving along with, because we have just about 15 more minutes. So yeah, for the next 3 weeks, breathe deep, take things slow, and trust that inner voice. Now, one of the things that I also put in the course is some chants and charms that you can use for this time, along with writing, which, you know, that can be a ritual in itself, doing that writing. And that's where this can all happen over, you know, the next 3 weeks. But I went on a walk with my daughter, and we went collecting flowers. And I just felt intuitively like, this is what I'm supposed to do to make this charm. And so, you know, I picked most of the neighbors' flowers who weren't home. It's the perfect time to go picking flowers. But yellow, orange, violet, relates to Mercury, the mental. So if you have a chance to go do that or find some flowers that are in bloom that have yellow. I got marigolds for orange because marigolds keep like negative energy at bay. I use sunflower. I use some miscellaneous, I don't even know what flower it is. It's yellow, it's everywhere. Sage, lavender, and lemon balm are all healing of the mental.
They're all in my garden this year.
There you go.
Yeah.
Make sure you dry them for a couple days. I put mine out under the moon, to the sunlight. If you put them in the direct sun, they'll burn. So
just a little bit. You have it in that container, so it's like you just take a little few petals, like a very small amount.
You saw it. This is my chart. Wow. I just posted it on Instagram today. So, and I explained to her as I'm walking about all of the magic of flowers, and it's really fun to have a daughter sometimes. Who's like open, at least at this point in her life, to these kinds of things. But and then we took some crystals. You can use citrine, quartz, amethyst, hematite, tourmaline. I used some quartz that I had that's already like kind of rough, but I smashed it. Of course, I honored it before I put it in, but I smashed the quartz, and I put my intention as clearing, because quartz is always good for clearing.
Mm-hmm.
I put a list in as part of the course. I'm sure you're familiar with crystals, but I was amazed at how the mortar and pestle, like I could kind of smash that rock and it kind of came apart.
Mm-hmm.
Then I put in aluminum foil instead of mercury, but it's reflective and it also connects you to Mercury. Obviously, you can't use mercury for toxic reasons.
Yeah.
But I used aluminum as a representation of that. And then we found some star glitter. Put some star glitter in, and then I had Ari and her friend came over, and they were like having the best time, like crushing it up and putting in the magic. And these apothecary bottles I got at Joann's. I have them in one of the aisles. And I mean, you can do that, or
You just tied a string around it. Okay.
Yeah, and then you can or you could just sprinkle it in a little piece of like fabric, silver or yellow or whatever you have, and then just.
I have a little container like that in my art supplies, but it's nice to see it because I didn't know when
Kind of neat just to do. I mean, you can make, like I said, you could put in a little bundle of fabric too, and then you can just put it in your pocket or your purse. It doesn't have to be a necklace.
Yeah, I'm traveling too, so maybe I'll just put it in my suitcase or something.
Yeah. So, and then of course, you know, I told the girls about the chant, but this is the chant. I'm gonna say it. Mercury. Well, this is the one that I came up with. Mercury, Hermes, Thoth, Nabu. Is it Thoth? I don't know. I take this time to honor you. Thank you for giving me clarity and perspective to move through the places that may be neglected. Help me to review the things of the past, to release the things that are outdated, the things that did not last. I now release the old and bring in the new, so I may achieve what I need and see the next level through. Blessed be. And so it is.
Yes.
That was the one that I came up with. I was happy with that one. And so whenever you feel, you know, ready, you can just say your chant with your charm. And I've been wearing mine, and I swear it's been helping a lot. Even if things seem to kind of go off balance, I feel like it helps draw my energy back. Like, okay, you know, it brings me to like this place of my heart where I'm just like,
feels good. Yeah, it feels really good.
Let's do this, you know.
And it's funny because I don't like metal, so that looks nice, like just a little bottle with the string, you know, like I can handle that, you know.
Yeah.
Because I can't wear metal jewelry. It's always like I just like rip it off. I'm just like, eh.
Oh, really?
But fabric, yeah, it's like my body just doesn't like it. It didn't like earrings. Like I need like fabric jewelry almost. Like
Oh, that's interesting.
I think I'm just sensitive to, fairies are sensitive to metal. And I think I'm just very sensitive to metal or something energetically.
So yeah, I mean, there's a lot of possibility, and I realize, I've made this now, and I can always reuse it for the next Mercury retrograde. So,
That's really good.
or you can make another one next round too.
I
But
feel like I see all the fairies dancing when you touch it, and it's like it's opening some other universe. Like, I was just like, "Woo! I'm going in there, into the charm." It's like I went into the bottle. It had a whole universe in there.
it's hard to take a shower with it, so I'm just like, and then I don't sleep with it. So I'm just like, oh, I'm taking it off now. Yeah, but it's been fine. And really, I was telling Ari, it's all about the intention. 20% is the flowers and the crystals and everything, but the magic that you put in, your intention, that's combined with the flowers and the crystals, the power, right? And that magic is the stuff that propels us forward. Magic is what pushes us forward, and all our good ways, right? All the good juju that keeps us going. So it's nice to be reminded of it, especially with the glitter. Yeah. Right? It's like you're all into glitter.
That's the stardust that you are. The stars. I do have some mica. I can use that. So it's like glitter and
is one of the ways you can connect with Mercury, for sure.
Nice. Well, I'm excited. I'm so glad I saw yours. It was funny because I kept reading the class, but I couldn't like digest it. So it's like I think it was like just attuning to the energy and then like slowing down and reading and doing the exercises. But I feel like I can do it now because I just knew I needed it. When you get a class and you just get the energy of it, and then you gotta slow down and like do it.
No, I totally get it. Trust me, I get it. I'm doing that with.
Yeah.
But I mean, you have 3 weeks, and you also have the next round. You have this bus for life, basically. So you can always go back, and I'm going to be adding to it some videos as well.
Oh, that sounds nice. That's fun.
It is a really big deal. I've been seeing everywhere. Everyone's like, "How are you surviving Mercury?" And I'm like, that's why this class is important, I think.
Yeah. I was glad I saw it right away. I was like, I need that.
But I think the hardest part is just marketing it and being like, hey, you need this. But like you said, I think it's better if there was a collective that came together to do the class together, because it makes it more alive. You do it that way.
But yeah, well, a lot of this stuff, it's like you got to start somewhere, and then it like unfolds, just like the online school and stuff. Like it's like just going like the goat up the mountain. I love there's some famous painting like The Village and I, and it's like Matisse or someone, and it's just like a goat. And I always loved it. I'm gonna find it. I think it's called The Village and I, but it always like brought me to this mystical universe because it's just like this goat, and it was just like, I love the goats.
Well, so yeah, I'd love to end on that note. Is so we're in Cancer. The sun is in Cancer, and Moon obviously began in Cancer and now is in Capricorn. And but they say Cancer is actually the real birth of the zodiac, and because we birth from her waters, and she's a water sign. It's all about the water, all about the mother, right? So the opposite is Capricorn, which is the father and the horned goat and her mate, but also, and the darker side, authority, male dominance, the patriarchy. So on the bigger levels, that's what we're dealing with, is those two polar opposites. And the next 2 eclipses are going to be in the sign of Capricorn in January. So this is a big collective push right now, because we're all doing this work of up, as we up level, we're having to shake off the patriarchy, the patterns that we've inherited. And sometimes those are really hard. Sometimes they don't want to let go.
Yeah. The shushing oppression. Yeah.
And thus, it'll be interesting to see. They say the eclipse energy that we're working on now is actually affecting us for the next 6 months until those eclipses. And that will be like the real grand finale of that sign and that work that we're doing. The work with the Divine Mother and Father, coming to balance. Right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it seems like that's the biggest work right now on the planet is balancing masculine, feminine, and how do we do that? So also just like, seeing our vision as we're up leveling into that as powerful women, because I feel like we're stepping up. And as you step up, those old things are all shedding.
Mm-hmm.
So I invite you, as we come into this moon, to feel into that vision of you, which I know you're doing that work. But what does she look like and feel like in the next 6 months? In January 2020, how do you see her work manifesting on the planet? What do you see what are you doing in January that's different from now?
Mm-hmm.
So just really stepping into that vision. This is also a time with Mercury, is that a lot of like that old like self-doubt and self-criticism can come up too, just to show you, you aren't that. You aren't that. Keep going. Because
your self relationship, your inner dialogue, and
that's the mountain.
Self-parenting.
Right? We're climbing is the mountain of self-doubt, and like when you're stepping out bigger in the world, that's part of it.
And there's no turning back, and that's scary. It's like your village burns and you gotta move forward.
You're midway up the cliff. You're like, I'm not going to go now.
Adventure, yeah. The road closed behind you.
So, when you go under the moon tonight and do your little moon pose, invite that in. Invite that vision of you at the top of the mountain.
And I should dry my flowers outside, you said, in the moonlight?
Oh, sure. I mean, wherever you want to find them.
Well, it was interesting because I've had marigold. I just got marigold, and it was my mother's favorite, so I felt like she was with it. Oh. And the lemon balm was new this year too, so it's interesting. I have all those things really, and then I feel like St. John's wort might want to go in there too.
Yeah. I mean, it's for me when I had the realization, like, oh, I need to do a ritual for Mercury. And it just took about a week for everything to come together. But just know you'll be prompted. You just to know what to do at the right time and trust your body and the instincts around it. But it really does. I swear it works. I'm just like, I have my char.
Nice. I can't wait. I'm gonna look and see if I have a little bottle like that in my bead container. I might, otherwise I'll go get one. I'm excited. It's funny how I need to do those little things like that. Like it feels very grounding and makes me whole. Like the crafts with the plants and the twigs and moss and crystals.
It's just satisfying.
Yeah.
I don't know, the kids right now love those satisfying videos on YouTube. Like they're people that make weird, like they'll eat a honeycomb and sound is supposed to be satisfying, or they'll cut something and people just like tune in just to hear those sounds. ASMR. So anyway, it's like now everything, like I'm noticing what's satisfying for me, like that mortar and pestle. I'm putting like the
I love that.
Like,
pestle, yeah. I'm gonna make my relationship with herbs and plants is unfolding throughout the years, and like new avenues seem to be awakening, especially this year. Like I have a sacred geometry little thing in my garden that the flowers want to go on, and I'm just like, something's just like some old wisdom's coming to me of the magic. So this is interesting, because I made flower essences, but I like never made herbal things and other things. But all of a sudden, I'm like learning, and like it's opening, and it's just like, oh, okay.
It's just the old stuff, you know, that you're remembering, your body is remembering. I like to do the moonflower potions too. And sometimes I would sell them, and sometimes I just have it in my refrigerator. I realized when I like anoint myself with the moon potions, it really does feel good. Like,
Is it made from moonflower?
It's usually the flower that's like budding in that season of the moon, and then I'll put it in water under the moonlight with some crystals, and make it into an essence.
Nice. Because I've been trying to grow a moonflower. That's why, and I've been noticing them around town, and I'm really into them. Like, I noticed them in a few places in wooded areas, and I'm just like, I scout them out now, and they're this big white morning glory thing, you know.
All right, well, I'm going to close for tonight since it's
okay.
early, and hope that this served you in some way. Light the page and give thanks one more time to our guides and our allies and all of our...
I was like, I could get my sage over here too.
Oh, yeah.
I was just looking at where I threw it. I'll find it later.
And I also pulled a goddess, and it's funny because I pulled this on Saturday, Eshel.
Oh, a medicine woman?
And just look at what we were talking about, right?
Water.
So, yeah, I pulled her on Saturday, and I pulled from the goddess deck too during Virtues, and I pulled Eshel. It's weird.
Oh, yeah.
And I just pulled it now, and I pulled Eshel.
Wow.
So I'm like, okay.
And I think that ties into the 6 months of the women priestess healers stepping into their power, because the earth needs the wisdom. Exactly. Totally. Yeah. And you don't even realize how much the shame is in there. Totally. Moving through that.
Guardian of the waters and the floods, and she brings in change.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a lot of stories with her too, but I'll probably post in my group tomorrow, and definitely in the temple group, but yeah, my Facebook group too. So yeah, I was gonna post a little bit about her tomorrow. So
cool.
Thank you, Eshel. Thank you, all of the gods and goddesses, and great divine Mother and Father, creator of all things, known and unknown, great mystery, sun, the moon, the stars, the planets. May you guide us in our heart's wisdom. May we have strong boundaries. May we know ourselves. May we love ourselves in each moment, and making the best decisions that we need to for ourselves, and also drawing in our most powerful parts of us that we express into the world. May we be seen and heard and witnessed and well received, and move forward with grace and without fear. So in love, moving forward in love. Taking that all into the heart space and feeling the blessings of our meeting tonight and our continued meeting with the moon as we go. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Blessed be.
Thank you, Jasmine.
Thank you.